We got a new project. My 1937 Chevrolet Master Deluxe Street Rod. I bought this car back in 1983, two or three, when it looked like this. And my good friend Gary Allen bought it from me and made a street rod out of it, and then I bought it back from him back in 2015. So it came full circle. I've been doing some small upgrades on it, interior mostly, but I'm going to add cruise control and keyless entry. But it has a small block 400 and a turbo 350 trans, and I think it's a Walker radiator, and I put a bigger fan in it. But the plan is with this one, this wintertime project, is to install air conditioning. And I have a Vintage Air. That one. That's going to go in here. I've already mocked it up underneath the dash when I did my, when I redid the interior. So it's going to go back in there. Passenger side tucked underneath the dash. I have a, I bought a vent for down below the dash, so I have to paint that yet. So got to get some paint, get that painted. And then I'm gonna probably pull this whole front, either the whole front end or the nose piece anyway, so I can get to the radiator and the condenser. So plan is the AC unit, a new radiator, 2 electric fans, condenser. Compressor is going to be on this side, probably going to run the hoses around back, and I have a bulkhead fitting for the firewall. So anyway, that's the latest. It's going to be probably a long series of videos. So hopefully I'll learn something, and then you can learn something from me. That's how that works.
A few moments later.
All right, it has been a little bit here, working throughout the afternoon. Got the headlights off, the hood off. Kathy helped me get the hood off. That thing was a handful. But I do have this front center section loosened up. There's 5 or 6 bolts along inside the fender that goes into that cowl. And then there's 2 on the bottom. This has got a different front end on, so it's probably not going to be like a stock 37, but I got those out. I'm going to try to leave the radiator in and pull the cowl out because the radiator is kind of heavy, and I didn't know how much we could handle that. So anyway, we're going to get Kathy out here and see if we can get this thing off. I have an update for you. I do have that front center section. Kathy helped me get that off. It's sitting over there on the floor. We got that off. I got my old pulleys off. There's a single for the top and a double on the bottom. And now we have a triple on the bottom and a double on top. And it looks like things are lining up. I do have a bracket that I bought to mount my AC compressor. There's the pass-through hole there for the heater hose. But what I did was, I had a piece of steel that Scott had given me, and I whittled out this one and welded it together. So I think I'm going to use this, save my original for another pattern, maybe make one for one of the other cars. But I just thought it'd be cool to see if I could cut one of those out. And I just cut it out on my bandsaw. Same thing, I put the bandsaw, my Milwaukee bandsaw, on my vise and use it for a little metal cutting bandsaw. It works really good. I used the hole saw to cut that out. But yeah, welded it together, kind of made a little jig on a piece of metal and welded that all together. This is just a pipe nipple that I welded some nuts on the end just to give it some length and strength and all that. I'll probably paint that all up. But anyway, yeah, it's coming along. This is like a day's worth. You know, I don't work too hard, as you can tell. But I figured I got a lot done today. So we took that front end off, left the radiator in the car without taking that off because that was heavy enough. But so this is a radiator that Gary had bought. It's a Walker radiator. It looks like it's got a 4 of 84 tag on it. So I don't know if that's when it was made or whatever, but yeah, it's a beast radiator, but it's got a leak. You can see it's wet right there. So yeah, it puked on the ground when we drove it in. But so anyway, I've got an aluminum radiator for that to replace that. And I have 2 electric fans, so I'll be probably making a fan shroud. So anyway, that's it so far. Well, I've been kind of busy getting things mocked up here with the compressor and my bracket that I made, and now I'm at the point where I'm trying to get the alternator bracket to work. I knew this one wasn't going to work. I actually had to modify that to get this alternator to bolt up, and that was fine. It secures back here and down on this bolt, but because of the heater hose in this bracket, I knew this wasn't going to work. So I did buy this bracket, but with this arc that it has, I don't know if there's any place I can put it. Even on that bolt, if I would have cut it off, I still don't think it would work. I'll have to look at that. Anyway, could do my go-to CAD. It's not AutoCAD. Well, it is AutoCAD because it's for my auto, but my my cardboard aided design and make something that's going to bolt to here perhaps and keep this same arc for the alternator. So I've been digging through my old belt selection, trying to get some belt numbers that'll work. This one's a little wide, but as far as diameter, it's just about right. I made this piece up. That's a piece of pipe and then a bolt and welded that all together. But just mocking things up, and then I'll take everything apart. All right, a little update here on the alternator bracket. I was able to just notch this out, and I think it's going to work. Even got the, if you can see that, enough light in there. Even got the heater hose on. This nipple's not threaded in, but I think I got to thread that in, put the bracket on, all that. And then on my power steering, I don't think there's enough belt contact to run the pump. I don't think that's enough arc. So what I'm going to do is I have a double groove pulley. I'll take this one off, press this one on, and it'll give it a little extra belt contact. This belt's going to work fine, I think, for the alternator. I just have to do a little notcheroo on my bracket there so I can drop down a little bit farther, because I do have some space right there. So let me show you this puller. So here's the pulley puller. It's a Harbor Freight unit. It's got a little jack screw, and it fits into this hub. There's two things that'll grab the groove on that pulley. Kind of keeps everything together, and it comes off real easy. And then these are for install, so you can use it for remover and installer. So about $20 at Harbor Freight. It's definitely worth it. So we got this guy off here. So we'll get the other one off and get it pressed on there, and we'll get it off and get it painted. We can't put it on when it's all icky. So we keep on going. Alrighty, doing a little champion radiator fitment here. This is a radiator I purchased for the 37 Chevy, and mocking it up into that nose section, the bolt hole spacing was a little on the narrow side. So what I ended up doing was die grinder. The holes were already elongated, but I had to really crowd them out to the end here, and everything lines up except for this last one here at the top. So what I ended up doing was I took out the let me show you this nut here. I took out this factory nut that's crimped in there, and just folded these tabs over and kind of punched it out of there. But so what I'm going to do is get the old welder out. I was going to weld, I bent the flange up here, and I'm going to weld this washer, and then I'll drill that out, and then I have these nut inserts. I was going to put that in and crimp that in, have that for my sixth one. So this is just a it operates like a pop rivet. They call it a nut cert or riv nut. Yeah, one of these. It's professional because it says on the box. So anyway, that's the plan. Looks like my condenser is going to fit in there fine, and I've got this other little fan that Gary had put in there. I think I might even put that back in just to blow some extra air on the condenser. So I guess it can't hurt. So anyway, another step in the right direction. There's my little nut insert and stud. Actually turned out quite well. So I've got studs in this thing because I figured I'd have to put some kind of a insulator or a rubber washer. I may end up putting maybe like make up a rubber pad or something to go across here. Just don't have any, so there's no metal to metal contact. I don't think there was anything on the old radiator, and it seemed to do okay, although it does leak, but still. That might be from age, but so next is going to be got a couple mock-ups here for my fans. I bought two electric fans instead of one big fan. Get two fans. It's going to be in on top of the radiator here. So going to have to build a fan shroud. So anyway, thanks for watching this part one. Stick around for part two, where we're going to probably build us a fan shroud. Thanks.